Well, good morning, everybody. I wanted to thank everybody for your prayers, your support. Tons and tons of suggestions on yesterday's video. It's awesome. So I do have a lot of phone calls out. I've called a bunch of different people trying to find information on this thing. It's complicated because this motorhome's sitting on a Chevy chassis. Part of it's Winnebago, part of it's a Chevy. So exhaust manifold part obviously would be a Chevy part, but then everybody, you call a lot of these parts places, they want to know, what is it? So I don't know, if you're driving a F-150 pickup truck, you would tell them, it's a 2004 F-150, blah 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 blah. In this case, it's a Winnebago, which they don't have listings for. So I have since discovered it's a P30. We're sitting on a P30 chassis, so that's what I tell them now. That seems to help, but finding the part is still complicated. I did find a parts guy. He found two different manifolds for me, but he said that the part number for the left side and the right side is the same, and that can't be right because they're not the same. So I don't think that's the right one, and I don't want to go ahead and order something like that because I'm stuck with it. I have a call out to Chevrolet, see what they can find. They have not, they can't get one. I guess they're not being made anymore. That's not to say there isn't one in existence, but they don't have one anymore. But he has given me a part number, which I'm going to send off to a parts guy and see if they can't cross-reference something and find something somewhere. Another suggestions were scrapyards. I have called a couple of scrapyards, and they don't have one either. They can't find them. This thing is a 25-year-old vehicle. Having said that, there's lots and lots and lots of P30s around, and lots of other vehicles with a 454 engine in it. So those are all great suggestions. Really appreciate them. We're trying, and hopefully we're going to come up with something this morning. I'm hoping I'm going to get a call back and figure something else out. Other suggestion, welding. I believe I'm a reasonably good welder. I'm not professional by any means, but on the farm we would tackle whatever we want, whatever we could. And if I had a welder and I had no other choices, I think I would try to weld this up. But it is really tricky. It's not normal metal, it's cast metal, and it's very hard to weld that. And I have very, very little experience, almost no experience welding cast. So yeah, it's not the same with welding normal metal basically. And I don't know. Like an exhaust manifold sees extreme heat. It gets really, really hot, and then it gets cooled down again, and then it gets really, really hot as you're driving. Especially if I'm going up a hill or something, the engine's going to get extremely hot, more hot than if you're just driving on flat ground. But then if you park it for the night, again, it cools off. So it's a part that's going to see a lot of expansion and contraction, which is why I cracked in the first place. And if my weld is not real good, it's kind of pointless. Like, it's a lot of work to take the manifold off, try to weld it up, and then put it back on, only to have it crack, an hour or two later. So I think that kind of clarifies everything there. We're waiting to hear back. Hopefully we're going to find some good news today with this part number and get some information that way. We do have an appointment later today for the alignment and the air conditioning, so that'll be nice to get that stuff all done too. Alright, finally some good news, awesome news. I got the number back from Chevy. I called the same parts guy back again that I was dealing with, who had found two different types. I mentioned it earlier, I believe. He found a left and a right with the same part number, which didn't make any sense. So I called the same company again. A different guy picked up, but he had the notes from the other guy. And I gave him that number. They cross-referenced it, and they found a part coming out of Pennsylvania. So not exactly next door, but it's supposed to be the right one. So I'm pretty excited about that because that keeps us going, hopefully, if we can get it. So now it's a matter of getting it here. They figure, like, I paid extra for shipping, we should be able to get it tomorrow morning if all goes well. I still got to find somebody to put it on, so that's going to be some more phone calling to go right now. Yeah.
Papa.
Yeah.
Keys.
You want keys?
Yeah.
What do you need keys?
That.
Hey, Papa get you some keys?
Yeah.
I'll get you some keys. Here's some keys. What are you going to do with them? All right, you show me. Careful on the steps. Careful, careful, careful. Let him fill in with that while I finish my story. But anyway, we've got those parts figured out, so or at least that manifold figured out, so that's awesome. So later today, like I said, it's going to go in and get some other stuff done. If that part can come tomorrow, then if all goes well, I can find somebody. I don't know who yet, but I got to find somebody that can put it on. I might be able to do it myself. My concern is the bolts are super duper rusty, so I start spraying some WD-40 on them to try to, get the nuts loosened up. But yeah, good news. Finally, some great news. First little bit of progress, I guess. We're getting the alignment done today. They also managed to squeeze us in this morning. Just dropped it off for checking the air conditioning. So I did try to top it up, but it didn't seem to work. So they're going to diagnose it this morning. I'm really hoping it's not going to be something majorly expensive. Getting kind of tired of spending money, but anyway, it is what it is. I guess it'd be nice to have air conditioning. And then they're going to keep it, so we're without a motorhome now for, I don't know, probably the next 4 or 5 hours. They're going to do the alignment and put a new tire on after that. So we are going to walk back. We were allowed to stay there, but what are we going to do there for 4 hours? So we are on our way, walking back to the campground. I don't know if you can see the KOA sign down there. Back to the campground and spend the next 4 hours swimming and playing at the park, and I don't know, try to find something to do, I guess. So do some mini golf maybe or something. So that's what we're going to be up to
Mini golf.
while I do that. So hopefully, when you see me next, I know what's going on with the motorhome, and it's not going to be a massive bill. All right, I still don't have any good news. It actually just keeps getting worse, worse and worse. I think that was the video title of the last video. I was hoping this one was going to be better, but I'm only getting bad news. So air conditioning, they can't fix. Well, they can, but it's going to take $1,500 part. It's going to take a $1,500 part that is going to take a week and a half to get. So it's doable, but anyway, I figured, well, we'll just leave that for now because we can live without air conditioning. They're going to give me the part that I need or tell me what I need, and I can always order it somewhere else. We can live without that. But I then went in for the alignment, and they can't do the alignment because it needs so much work. So that's going to be between $4,000 and $5,000 worth of parts that I need for the front end of the motorhome in order to get an alignment done. So needless to say, that's not good news. So I asked him, I said, do you have any good news? Nope. So, yeah. Then the exhaust manifold. I guess I do have some good news there. I managed to track down, I called I don't know how many different people, but through the Chevy dealership, I got a part number. They told me it's non-existent. They no longer make the part, so I can't get it. But at least with that part number, I was able to call CarQuest. CarQuest could cross-reference that part with an aftermarket part. Of course, I'm in Montana. The aftermarket part's in Pennsylvania. So with shipping, that was going to take a week. But when you pay extra, I paid $40 for shipping. The part was only $150 for a new manifold, so that was nice. And it's supposed to be the right one, so that's good. $40 for shipping gets it here tomorrow morning at the latest noon. So let's hope that all works out, because tomorrow's Friday. And I think I found a guy that's going to put it in. So that at least fixes that part, and then we're not stranded here anymore. We could keep driving, but we still need front end work, and we now need to decide, how badly do we want to keep going. Sorry, I'm walking on the side of the road. Finn and I are going to get the motorhome. So how badly do we want to keep going on holidays? Or do we want to just say, forget it, and go home, call her quits, we've seen enough? I mean, that wasn't the idea. I got lots I want to see yet. How much money do we want to throw in a motorhome? I don't know. Decisions. Alright, so I got the motorhome back again. They popped a brand new tire on for us. We'll show you. It's actually the exact same as the ones we had, so that's kind of cool. So it's brand new, but it still matches all the other tires I had on here. Now, none of the work is done. Tomorrow, hopefully, I'll have that manifold piece. I'm excited about that we found that. I'm hoping it's going to be the right one. It's kind of my fear is that we get it and it won't be the right one. But as far as the air conditioning and the other work, we haven't got anything done. We are good to drive. I asked the mechanic. He says, yeah, it's not like it's going to fall apart right away, so we can probably drive. Or not probably, we can. It's just going to wear the tire out. So we're going to order the parts. We decided to go ahead and do it. So we're going to get the parts ordered. We're going to take off, head north for a bit, back into Canada, and then come back here in what, a week and a half, probably a week and a half. Hopefully they'll have all the parts by then, and we'll get the work done, and then carry on our merry way. So not part of the plan. It costs us a pile more money, but at least it's something, and hopefully that's sufficient to get everything up to snuff the way we need it to be.
We got time on our side. We're in a state of hope. I need you on my fire. I want you to know that every time you're away, I long for you so much I can find my way. We got everything here, at least to stay alive.